Hey guys, how many times have you felt like you're living life burning not just one, but both ends of the candle, thinking, I thought Christian living was supposed to be? Look, life's hard, especially as a Christian. You can't just invite God into your life and think every problem you've ever had is just gonna go away. So what do we do? How are we supposed to act? What's the correct response? Well, those are some of the things we talk about here at the Hope Seat. Taking real life issues, real life scenarios, and talking them out. Take this ride with us, and let's figure it out together. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Hope Seat. Here we are, episode 0. I am Rafael Nieves, and I am so excited to be bringing this initial episode here of the Hope Seat to you guys. This has been a project that's been in the making for months now, and I think that everyone that I've been talking to about this project is going to be probably more relieved that it's finally done and finally started, even more so than me, because they're finally going to be able to actually hear all of these different ideas that I've had pent up in my heart, and it's just going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. But like I said, my name is Rafael Nieves. I am the youth pastor for Orange County Gospel Fellowship out in Goshen, New York. My voice is typically the main voice that you'll be hearing on this show moving forward. And it's going to be consisting of all different kinds of things, guys. All different kinds of topics. We are not going to limit ourselves just to topics in the youth ministry because I'm the youth pastor. We're going to be talking about everything, all right? And let me explain to you why. The way that this podcast actually was birthed, like I said, I'm the youth pastor for the church. And when you're the youth pastor for the church, you are the number one investigated individual by all the youth of the church. They want to know, who is this guy? What has he done? And they want to know, what secrets does he have? But here's the problem. These guys can't really find any of my secrets because I really have none. And I try my best to be very transparent with them in regards to who I am and what it is that I do. However, there are certain things that I never brought to their attention. And one of those things was the fact that when I myself was a youth, I had a radio show. Yes, I did. I had a radio show when I was about 16, 17 years old, eventually becoming the director of youth programming for that station. And I really did enjoy it. And I never intended to do it. I didn't even know that I was good at it, really, until I actually started doing it. But when it was all said and done, it wasn't something that I thought that I was going to pick up again, to be honest. So there I was. And they eventually found out about the radio show, and they all started asking questions like youth typically do when they find out new information. And, of course, I was more than happy to oblige them. I did have a couple of old recordings from my youthful days on the radio. And, once it started with the youth, it would continue on and on and on. And it not too long after that, people were finding out about it in the congregation. And so they started asking me why it is that I never pursued that as a career. And I told them it's not something that I intended to start up, nor was it something that I had intended to pursue afterward. It was just really fun. But young people, being the persistent people that they are, continued to ask me over and over, and other people as well started asking over and over. And eventually, I just submitted myself in prayer, and I was like, you know what, God, I'm really starting to think about this. I'm really, really starting to have a desire to do this again, and I just need you to give me the platform. Help me figure out how it is that I can get back into, quote unquote radio, and still be able to do what it is that you want me to do, and let me be able to speak about the things that I want to speak without being regulated by anyone else. And thus the podcast was born. So I started writing it out. I started just putting it together, thinking of different ideas in regards to how I wanted it to sound, and for months just going and going and going. And really, last month, the month of October, it was Pastor Appreciation Month. With Pastor Appreciation Month, a lot of people were just saying different things that were just so heartwarming. And I mean, I have the best congregation in the world, guys. I'm telling you, they are the best congregation in the world. They love us so much here, and I love them so much. And I remember just after one Sunday when we were celebrating, I went into the youth ministry on that Wednesday, and I told them, I said, hey guys, what would be some awesome ideas to talk about on a podcast? Without even second guessing, they just started spitting off different ideas in regards to what kind of things it is that they would be interested in hearing. And as they read off all the different things, I began to realize and I began to see that everything that we've really been ministering, if you will, to these young people really came out in the responses that they gave. All of the things they talked about were really not youth issues, but Christian living issues. So that's what hit me. I am going to start this podcast with a heart full of fear, but also a heart full of compassion for those who are hurting, those who are out there, and maybe they just need to hear that they're not the only ones going through what it is that they're going through in their life. Because, yes, I'm a pastor, and I want to tell you that life is just as hard for me as it is for you. And in listening to these young people, I realize that they are under the understanding that just because they're youth doesn't mean that they don't face the same problems or some version of those problems that adults do, right? There's no magic transition that takes place from when you turn 17 to 18, where all the issues that you had, all the problems that you were going through at ages 13 to 17, all of a sudden disappear. And then at 18, you have a whole new set of problems that you're going to have to deal with, and you can just start from scratch. You know, that's not the way life works. It's not the way that Christianity works, right? So, moving forward, we're going to be talking about things, how, just how to not be awkward, right? Things as simple as that. How not to be awkward in your everyday Christian living. You don't have to be going through life and, you go to your friend's house and they're using a dirt devil. You don't have to start rebuking it, You can eat deviled eggs, guys. Just call them heavenly eggs if that's your thing, And we want to talk about, just different times in our life where we've had testimonies and how those testimonies resulted in dramatic change in our lives. And, sometimes we might just be silly. I remember one of the kids asking me, which one of the apostles would win in a fight? And I said, that's an awesome question. That is something we need to research, right? And just talking about Christianity in 2019 going into 2020, just Christianity today. And, the need for people to be able to defend themselves and stand for what it is that they believe in, but also at the same time not taking the stance that I'm holier than thou. So I'm really excited for this. First full episode of The Hope Seat is going to be coming up on November 29th, 2019. I'm Raphael. God bless you guys. And I can't wait to have a seat with you.